In the heart of Belmopan lives Kenroy Castillo, a science lecturer who believes love should be logical. No drama, no surprises, just data and a good survey. But when Rosie Baptist walks into his life, a wild, free-spirited chef with a passion for food and zero interest in rules, Kenroy's perfect plan starts to fall apart. From DNA tests to rice and beans, from Placencia sunsets to belly laughs in San Ignacio, this is a love story like no other, full of spice, culture, and a whole lot of heart. Get ready for the Rosie Plan, a funny, feel-good Belizean love story you won't want to miss. Before we get into our story, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Become a part of the community that enjoy clean, fun stories. And after watching my story, comment so I would know your thoughts and share it with your friends. I thank you for your support. Enjoy. Kenroy Castillo was not your average Belizean man. He was a science lecturer at the University of Belize in Belmopan. Everything in his life had to follow a plan. He ate the same thing every morning: 2 fried jacks, scrambled eggs, and 1 cup of black coffee, no sugar. He wore the same style of shirt, short-sleeved, tucked in, usually a shade of blue. He had exactly 9 shirts and 3 pants. Kenroy lived alone in a small wooden house just outside Belmopan. He didn't have many friends, except for Marcia, his co-worker, who was also the psychology lecturer. She said he was socially awkward, but Kenroy didn't see the problem. He just believed people wasted too much time on small talk. At 35, Kenroy decided it was time to find a wife. But not just any wife. She had to be smart, clean, healthy, on time, and she must not be late for anything. He created a survey with 67 questions. It was called the Wife Plan. If I want to avoid wasting time dating the wrong women, I must collect data and analyze compatibility, he told Marcia. She laughed until she had to hold her side. Kenroy, you can't find love with a survey. You need to meet people, fall in love. But Kenroy shook his head. That's not scientific. One day, Marcia invited him to a small gathering at her cousin's bar in San Ignacio. Kenroy didn't usually like going out, but he agreed, hoping to give out his surveys. That's where he met Rosie. She was nothing like the women he wanted. She was wearing a bright red top, big hoop earrings, and her curly hair was wild and free. She spoke loudly, laughed loudly, and had no filter. "You look like you swallowed a textbook," she said when she first saw him. Kenroy blinked. "I'm not sick. I just came from work." Rosie burst out laughing. "I like you, boy. What's your name?" "Kenroy Castillo, science lecturer." "Nice to meet you, Mr. Science. I'm Rosie Baptist. I work at a bar, and I'm studying to be a chef. I want to open a restaurant in Placencia one day." Rosie was not suitable. She smoked sometimes, ate too much sugar, and was always late. But something about her energy made Kenroy feel curious. She didn't fill out his survey. Instead, she asked, "You ever been in love?" Kenroy frowned. "That emotion is irrational and not measurable." She laughed again. "You're cute, weird, but cute." A week later, Rosie showed up at Kenroy's office. "I need your help," she said. "You know DNA and all that science stuff, right?" "Yes." "I'm trying to find my real father. Mama never told me who he was. But I have a photo from her university days. I think one of those men could be him." Kenroy stared at the photo. "You want me to do DNA tests on all of them?" "Yes. Can you?" Kenroy nodded slowly. Technically, yes, but I have no reason. I'll cook for you. Free meals, whatever you want. Kenroy paused. Rosie's food was incredible. She had cooked something simple, a plate of rice and beans with coconut stewed chicken, the last time he saw her, and it was the best meal of his life. All right, he said. But this isn't part of my wife plan. Rosie grinned. Good. I'm nobody's plan. They began the project. Rosie called it the Real Project. Every weekend they traveled to different parts of Belize, Orange Walk, Dangriga, San Pedro, trying to collect DNA samples from men in the photo. Kenroy had never traveled so much in his life. He packed his lunch, wore long-sleeve shirts to avoid sunburn, and kept everything documented in a folder. Rosie, on the other hand, wore beach slippers, chewed mango while they waited for the water taxi, and danced to punta music on the street. She made Kenroy nervous, and excited, and confused. You ever just relax? She asked one evening as they sat on the beach in Hopkins. I'm relaxing now. No, Kenroy, that's your serious face. This is relaxing. She laid back on the sand, eyes closed, arms wide open. He stared at her. Then slowly he copied her position. It felt strange and nice. The more time Kenroy spent with Rosie, the more he started changing. He started eating lunch outside instead of at his desk. He tried her recipes, grilled lobster, cassava bread, even cahoon cabbage. He even danced one night in Punta Gorda when a band was playing in the park. Marcia noticed the change. You're glowing, Kenroy, she said one day. Don't tell me. You're falling for Rosie? No, he said too quickly. She doesn't meet the criteria. Forget the criteria. How do you feel? Kenroy didn't answer, because the truth was, he felt everything. Joy, panic, warmth, excitement, and a strange ache in his chest when he thought about her not being around. After weeks of searching, they finally got the last DNA test back. Kenroy handed Rosie the envelope. She opened it, stared, and started crying. It's not him, she whispered. Kenroy sat beside her. I'm sorry. We'll keep looking. No. I think I'm done. Maybe I don't need to know. Maybe I just needed to feel like someone wanted to help me. Kenroy felt his chest ache again. Rosie, you're not alone. She looked at him, eyes shining with tears. Why did you help me, Kenroy? It wasn't logical. I don't know, he said softly. Maybe I care about you. She smiled a little. Even though I don't match your wife plan? He swallowed. Maybe the plan was wrong. The next morning, Kenroy deleted his wife plan. He cooked breakfast, scrambled eggs and johnny cakes, and waited for Rosie. When she arrived, she smelled like oranges and sunshine. I have a new plan, he said. Another survey? She teased. No, just one question. She raised an eyebrow. Will you give me a chance to love you, even if it's not logical? Rosie grinned. Only if I get to cook for you forever. Kenroy smiled. Deal. A year later, Rosie opened her restaurant in Placencia, The Real Taste. Kenroy moved there to teach part-time at a small learning center and help with bookkeeping. Every day, he greeted guests at the door. And every night, he kissed Rosie and thanked her for showing him that the best plans are the ones you never expect. Sometimes love isn't logical, but it's real, and that's enough. Love doesn't always follow a plan, and that's what makes it real. Sometimes we try to control every part of life, but the most meaningful relationships grow when we let go of expectations and open our hearts to the unexpected. Compassion, understanding, and genuine connection are far more important than perfection.